Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a pet store. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Watch until the very end of the video to see where we place the pet store in the city. This is the amount of space required to make the pet shop. And here are some of the materials that we will need to make the store. And here is the rest. Begin by placing a black concrete on the ground. Dig 2 rows to the right and replace those empty spaces with sea lanterns. Next to the sea lanterns, place a black concrete. Dig 2 rows to the right. Place sea lanterns in there. Then place a black concrete on the end. Dig 1 row to the right, place an oak plank in there, then place a black concrete to the right. Dig 2 rows to the right, place sea lanterns in there with a black concrete on the end. Dig 2 more rows to the right, place sea lanterns in there, and then place a black concrete on the end. We then want to extend up each black concrete by 1. Then place green concrete on top and across the black concretes, and have the green concrete extend left and right over the build by 1 row. We then want to place black stained glass on top of all of the sea lanterns, extending up and reaching the green concrete. Like this. Next, we are going to grab green terracotta and extend green terracotta in front of the middle pair of black concretes. Digging in between them in the ground, place a dark oak door on top of the oak plank that we have placed in the ground instead. Then, place green terracotta connecting the 2 rows across the top of the door. Extend left 1 and right 1. Then add 3 more rows on top of this longer row. 1, 2, 3. Like this. Next, we want to place string in front of the first longer row of green terracotta. Then extend the 3 middle string forwards. And then extend oak fence up from the ground to meet the string in the 2 empty corners. We should have 3 oak fence on either side. What we are then able to do is place, starting from the left, red carpet on top of the string and the fence, and then alternate between white and then red again, extending all the way across to the right, like this. We are also going to place oxeye daisies in front of the left and right sides of the pet store, and then dig out the remaining grass slash the little part of the grid that remains, and replace all of this space with smooth stone to integrate the build into a city or sidewalk or pavement. Next, the sign. Throw down a loom, open it up, place a white banner in there with black dye. The first letter we have to make is P, so apply the Pale Sinister pattern, put white dye in there, and then apply the Profess Inverted pattern. Black dye in there, apply the Chief pattern, Fess, and then Pale Dexter. P. Next is E, so Pale Dexter, Chief, Fess, Base. Next is T. Pale, Chief. Next is S, Chief, Base, Bent. Now we have to make a completely different banner. So this is going to resemble a paw print. We start off with a white banner with some black dye, and we apply the roundel pattern. Next, we go for the white dye with the creeper charge pattern. Grab that, put that back in, remove the pattern. We then want to apply the inverted chevron. Grab that, put that back in. Grab black dye. We then want to apply the regular chevron. Grab that, put that back in with some white dye. We then want to apply the bourgeois pattern. Grab that, put that back in, and then we want to apply the base pattern. Grab that, that is the banner complete. Now that we have all of our banners, we simply can place them above the entrance here, paw print, P-E-T-S. Perfect. Next, come to the right side of the pet store and extend these 2 black concrete rows backwards by 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, dig 2 rows in the ground, still extending backwards, place sea lanterns in those 2 holes, and then place 2 additional rows of black concrete equaling the height of the row to the left of us. We can then fill the space in between in using black stained glass. And on the opposite side of the build, we actually want to do the exact same thing. So extend these 2 rows to the left, aka backwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then dig 2 rows in the ground extending back, place sea lanterns in there, 2 more rows of black concrete to equal the length of the opposite side, glass in between them, and on the back of the build, all we will simply do is connect the left and right sides together using black concrete. Next, we are going to work on the inside floor of the build. Come all the way to the front left hand side of the pet store, dig in front of this black concrete, 1, 2, 3 rows, and then connect to the outer wall. Continue digging, 1, 2, 3 rows, connect to the outer wall. Place black concrete in all of this empty space. And then this right side, we can actually leave grass, but this left side here, we are going to dig an additional row down, replace this white concrete, and then we are going to replace the grass using oak planks. On the opposite side of the build, we will do the same. So from the black concrete, 1, 2, 3, connect to the outer wall, 1, 2, 3, connect to the outer wall, place black concrete in all of the empty space. This left side here can remain the same, however the front we want to dig, replace with black concrete, and then fill the base in with oak planks. Next, come all the way to this black concrete block. Leave 2 rows to the right, 1, 2, and then dig 1, 2, 3 rows in the ground. Dig 1 row forwards, like this, and then further dig out the base and replace this using oak planks, like so. Along the back wall of the pet store, begin by placing a sand, then a light grey concrete, sand, light grey concrete, sand, light grey concrete, sand, light grey concrete, 2 sand, light grey concrete, 2 sand, just like this. Next, all we have to do is dig out all of the remaining grass inside of the pet store that isn't part of a display and replace the grass using oak planks. Next, we want to extend the overhanging rows of green concrete backwards and across the back of the build. We are then going to place an additional row of black concrete on top of the left and right side wall of the build like this. And we should be able to add one across the back as well. Then we are simply going to cover up the black concrete rows and all of the empty space on the top of the build in using polished blackstone slabs. This is going to form the roof. However, we don't want to place it on top of the green concrete, so this is reserved for the black concrete and the empty space. With the entire outside of our pet store complete, we can now head inside and start doing the fun bit. Let's start on the left side of the store. So first of all, we are going to have a dog display. We'll place a white carpet with a red carpet to make a bed inside of this 2x2 hole here. Right of this, a flower pot for a dog bowl. Item frame with a bone in it. I think that's self-explanatory, and there we go. Perfect. Right of this is going to be a mini parrot enclosure, so we will have a couple of leaves in the ground instead of the grass, a scaffolding against this back wall, a couple of item frames on the ground with different seeds in the item frame, and then against the wall we will have an open birch fence gate. So we have a couple of places for the birds to perch, however I think that the gate also looks good with an item frame on top of it. So if we just... predicament. You know what? This will work a little bit better if we just stand up here and crouch. Perfect. And once we are happy with our pet friends enclosures, all we have to do is add glass pane in a high enough quantity that our friends can't escape. So for the birds, this is going to be floor to ceiling, but for the dog, we should be okay by having either a 1-row high glass, or if you're feeling extra paranoid, a 2-row high. But we can also use barriers as well, as we will a little later on. So for the opposite side of the store, we are going to have a cat here instead of a dog. So a white carpet with a blue carpet in front will make a cat bed. Item frame on the ground with a raw cod in it and a flower pot for a bowl. To the left, we're going to have a fox, so we will dig out a couple of grass and place some spruce leaves. Spruce sapling, sweet berry bush that will grow eventually, and of course we now just have to add enough glass that our friends can't escape. So for the cat, 1 should be enough, but I do believe that the fox we will require 2, but do bear in mind once again that we have barriers, so we can circumvent that problem entirely. Next, we are going to work on the trickiest part of the tutorial, the fish tanks. So begin by extending the light grey concrete in between the fish tanks all the way up to the ceiling like this. We then want to place spruce trapdoors in front of the sand and flip them up, so we want to conceal it. Then we are going to place barriers in front of the fish tanks, just in front of the bottom row of empty space, like so. And I'm just going to get rid of the unnecessary barriers because I don't want unnecessary barriers. This is perfect. So what we also want to do is destroy the blackstone slabs above each fish tank like this. It's actually easier to feed the fish and the water in from the top. That's why we destroyed all of these slabs for the roof. So come up to the roof and come all the way over to the first tank. My first tank is going to have a pufferfish in here. So to make this, we simply add a water, add the pufferfish, and then a light blue concrete above, just like this. The next tank will be, I guess it's a Spider-Man tank. We add the water in, salmon, light blue concrete. Next one, water, cod, concrete. Next one, water, tropical fish, light blue concrete. Next one, this is a double tank, so 2 water. We're going to stick a frog in here, and then concrete. No, frog. No! No! Well, that's going to be a slight problem. New frog, concrete. Yes, there we go. Last tank, water, axolotl, and then concrete. Oh no. Axolotl concrete. Then we just seal up above all of the tanks using the polished blackstone slabs. And then we unfortunately take care of any extra stock. Next, we are going to place item frames in front of the light blue concretes above the tanks, and we are going to label these. So, pufferfish, salmon, cod, tropical fish. For the frog, we don't actually have like a little frog symbol, unfortunately, but we can place frog spawn and some plants here. And for the axolotl, we can actually place the bucket of axolotl and a seagrass next to it, and that's very cute. In an ideal world, I would add seagrass to this, but I believe that my friend here would actually escape immediately. But anyway, this is what it all looks like, and I think that this looks really, really cool. Next, we are going to make the rabbit pen. So this is what this hole is for, and we are actually going to replace some of the oak planks that we have at the base here using bamboo mosaic slabs. And then we are going to add water here with an additional slab just like this, and then place some horn coral fans to look like straw or hay, whatever the difference is. Then a couple of item frames with carrots. Perfect. That's great. So what we could do from here is add barrier blocks around this, but then we can barely even walk around our pet store. Or what I would prefer to do is place some green terracotta along the long rows of this, and then oak trapdoors along the inside of the terracotta flipped up like this, so we're kind of occupying the space inside of the hole, and then place some oak trapdoors flipped up on the left and right. And then if we remove the terracotta, we just have a little bit more walking around space in our pet store. You can see it's a little bit cramped already. I think that that's just a bit of a cleaner cage design. And then, last but not least, a small till area. So leaving a gap of one in front of the rabbits, we are going to place a green terracotta, extend to the right, bookshelf on the end, lantern on the bookshelf, item frame on top of the next terracotta, lead on top of that, quartz stair like this, then red carpet in front of all of this, and there we go. That's perfect. Last but not least, all we have to do is add all of our animal friends. So we'll start off with Mr. Wolf here, and we will simply add some barriers just across the top to ensure that he doesn't escape. The parrots will actually be fine, so we'll have a couple of parrots, and then quickly, no, get in. Okay, there we go, perfect. And then seal up the glass pane. I'm sorry for what I had to do, but I couldn't have another escape situation. On the opposite side of the store, we can add a cat here, and then a couple of barriers. And then next to our cat, a fox, and once again, I'm just going to add barriers just in case, and these won't actually interfere with the rest of the store. And last but not least, we will have a couple of rabbits, and I mean, I think that you guys can kind of see the pattern here. We are going to place the barriers just in the top, but nowhere else, so that we are able to actually walk around the store freely. And that's it, the tutorial is officially complete. However, this video is not over. We must now add our pet store into our city. Unfortunately, there isn't a great place to just plop down our pet store, so we are going to make a brand new bit of street just opposite our grocery store in front of the modern suburbs. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope that you are enjoying making your own city grow as much as you are enjoying watching my city grow. If you are looking for more things to build, simply check out the mini city playlist in the description. Over 50 videos strong as of recording this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.